Well, what is going on? I did not think I would be doing another spoiler video, but I feel like there was enough spoiled today to go over them with you all. I think there were some pretty spicy mythics, rares, and uncommons worth talking about. I also want to mention that I made a very public offer last week or yesterday in yesterday's video to make sure to keep a list of anyone who cancels your Modern Masters pre-orders. Please continue to send me that. We had an issue with one seller today that turned out to be a mix-up. I don't know all the details, but regardless, after publicly posting their situation, the customer got their cards. So sellers are aware that we're on the lookout, so stay vigilant. Now, I look at Modern Masters sets a little different than most. At a $9 to $10 price tag or $8 to $10 price tag per pack, my value scale is skewed a little bit towards the high value reprints. While I love drafting, $30 to $40 a draft to me is too much money, and unless I have a very strong chance at least pulling that back out. Now I'm going to start with what I like to call today's mythics that were spoiled. I want to start first with Bonfire of the Damned. Very cool card. Avacyn Restored, I believe. Very interesting card that saw a lot of early speculation in price. Putting a few more foil versions of Bonfire of the Damned out there is sure to please at least some EDH players. Next, the next mythic I want to talk about, which was already spoiled, is Domri Raid, a 3-mana Planeswalker, Gruul Planeswalker. And I think it's a fine card. Again, it doesn't fit the needed to be reprinted category for myself, but it is a fine card. And what I will say is after I talk about the spoilers that I wanted to mention, I think what we're seeing is that Modern Masters 2017 is going to offer a pretty unique draft environment regardless of what they decide to or to not reprint. Next, we have an already spoiled Griselbrand. This card has been printed into oblivion as a GP promo. It's definitely mythical. I mean, it's not like you could put Griselbrand at rare. It's fine that it's in this set, but again, it is heavily played, I guess, so it's cool to see it. Not quite the splashy mythic I would have expected. However, we saw a new mythic get spoiled today, much to the surprise. The only thing that was a surprise about this spoiler is that Wizards decided to shift its rarity, and it is Snapcaster Mage. A $40, $50 card, definitely needed to be reprinted. However, Wizards, I believe, missed the mark by printing it at rare or at mythic, because you're not going to make this card much more available to the players by keeping it at mythic. I mean, if you can print Wasteland at rare, you can print Snapcaster Mage at rare. My other gripe with this card is the art. So much blue. But, art is in the eye of the beholder. So, I mean, if you like it, I think that's kind of all that matters. If it's the card you're playing with and you get into it, that's cool. Snapcaster Mage is something very good, exciting to see get reprinted nonetheless. And then I nearly missed this other mythic that was spoiled. It was spoiled on a random YouTuber's channel that has like 9,000 subscribers. So apparently Wizards has no standards for who spoils cards, and not only that, spoils mythics. Back in the day, you had to be somebody to spoil a mythic. But anyway, I'm just Temporal Mastery, 7-mana miracle. Take an extra turn after this one. Exile Temporal Mastery. It has a miracle cost of 2. Fun card to be reprinted, of course. And we may see, since we have both Bonfire of the Damned and Temporal Mastery printed at Mythic, maybe we'll see more miracles. It's hard to say. Now I want to get on to the rares. I think the rares were very utilitarian today. Solid. Solid in general. We have cards like Deadeye Navigator, Grafdigger's Cage, both solid. Primal Command. Now, this card is something that when I saw originally, I was certain that it meant we were going to see Cryptic Command at rare, which would be excellent because it does pour some extra value in the set. But then after reading a little bit more, people are less convinced that this would guaranteed mean we're going to see something like Cryptic Command. We had Ranger of Eos, another card, good target for reprint. A 4-mana 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, you must search your library for up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost of 1 or less. Reveal them, put them in your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. This is definitely a part of a constructed deck, so that's good to see. We have other cards, I think Stoic Angel, which we already saw. Stony Silence, little activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated. That's a decent reprint. And Thragtusk randomly. I remember when I was coming back into the game, Thragtusk was ruining lives in Standard. I don't expect that to be the case again. In Modern Masters, it is definitely a very powerful card. I'm happy to see it. It should be fun to play that card again. And then Restoration Angel today as well. So pretty middle of the road rares. Nothing was really crazy. They did get some good hits with Deadeye Navigators, Grafdigger Cage. EDH was getting a good amount of love. We also had Venser Shaper Savant, a 4-mana 2/2 Flash Mage or Human Wizard, and Zur the Enchanter, another EDH favorite. I believe this card was originally in Cold Snap, if I'm right. Hopefully, I don't know exactly, but Zur is one of my friends plays Zur as their commander, so it sounded familiar right away, and it sounds like people are pretty pumped about Zur. Now, I do want to talk about what I think the biggest highlight of the day was the uncommon slot. I think they did awesome reprinting some uncommons today, with especially the 1-drop super powerful uncommons. Things like Inquisition of Kozilek. We had Might of Old Kroza and Path to Exile. All cards that are totally fine to reprint. Shifting Inquisition of Kozilek to uncommon was really player friendly, I think. Might of Old Kroza, same thing. That card was ridiculously expensive for an uncommon. And Path to Exile has seen many reprints, but it sees also heavy play, so it's good to see that. Then we had some nice color wedge 3-color cards that I thought were pretty interesting to see. Rox Warmonk, the 3/4 with lifelink, very fun. Then we have Sidraxa Spectre, a 3/2 flyer. Sprouting Theranax, this is a 3/3. And then Tower Gargoyle. Of all these, this one is a 4-drop. And this is a 4/4 flying for 4. Very, very strong. Then we also saw Terminate. I think that came out late last night. And that's obviously a very strong uncommon. And then Woolly Thoctor, a 3-mana 5/4. Very strong again. So I think when I look at what my expectations are or were for Modern Masters 2017, I lean more heavily on expecting high-end reprints. I think we're getting some of them, but we're not getting crazy value. But I mean, when you have Snapcaster Mage, Damnation, there's plenty of high-value reprints that we saw. We may still see Cavern of Souls, which would be pretty interesting. That would be a really nice reprint to see for players. There's another YouTuber that has a Mythic. I suspect that it's going to be Craterhoof Behemoth. People keep waiting to see Liliana of the Veil. Everyone expected her to be in the set. With the fetch lands in the set, I don't think Wizards has to put Liliana in this set for it to be a fun draft set. But there's also a certain point where people's expectations are so strong about Liliana, and to not give them Liliana would really feel bad. And I definitely am aware of how Wizards of the Coast loves to favor the feels over the reals. So if they were to not have Liliana, I think that would be a huge miss. But, people have been clamoring for Damnation reprint for many years, and they've ignored that until recently. So, to me, there isn't a ton more I need to see out of this set as long as we see Liliana. I think my dark horse would be a Liliana and a Craterhoof, or maybe like Craterhoof, I think a lot of people thought Tarmogoyf would be definitely out, but I wouldn't put it past Wizards to throw Tarmogoyf in there. It's still a high value card that will bring box EV up, and several $100 foil. One thing I am worried about though is how low in value the mythics are. I was talking to another YouTuber. In fact, it was Rudy, and he had a theory that Wizards was in fact pushing a lot of the reprints to the rare slot. A lot of what they were going to reprint was going to be rare or uncommon. And so this is kind of following that trend, other than pushing Snapcaster to Mythic. Although I think maybe they push Snapcaster to Mythic so as to keep the Mythic EV high. I mean, I don't think it's going to feel bad opening a Grizzle brand. It's not going to feel bad opening a Snapcaster Mage. I think it will feel bad opening up stuff like, paying $10 for a pack and opening up Domri Raid, which is going to be $5 pretty quick, or Bonfire of the Damned, or even Temporal Mastery. Although that card, foil versions of some of these cards are still highly valuable. So hopefully we see, Liliana, Craterhoof, Tarmogoyf, something else as a Chase Mythic. I expect that to come out on Friday, maybe sooner. So if it's worth talking about, I'll produce another video for that. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I want to hear your speculations on what's left in the comment section down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.